Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back with you. Well, I'm sure you've all heard by now that the Supreme Court has issued their decision on the Birthright Citizen debacle. And I've done a video on this a few years ago when it first started coming to light under the scrutiny, I guess, of the birth tourism, I guess is the right word to use today. So here's it in kind of a nutshell, the decision. They ruled 6-3 with Chief Justice John Roberts and Amy Coney Barrett joining the three liberal justices, with Brett Kavanaugh concurring in judgment, but with a slightly different angle. Now, what they're saying was that the 14th Amendment, and Roberts wrote this, that the Wak Kim Ark case had settled the issue. And I'm not so sure that it did. So I'm in the camp that's agreeing with the three that dissented on this, and I'm brokenhearted that they didn't see past the ends of their nose on this, at least the six that voted in favor of allowing birth tourism to take over the whole citizenship question. Brett Kavanaugh had a slightly different take on it. He said that the Constitution does allow and would allow Congress to pass legislation restricting birthright citizenship for children born to parents who are in the country unlawfully or temporarily. Now, that sort of makes sense, and so we've got two camps going on here. And one camp is an entire redo of the 14th Amendment. And it's my assumption, my belief anyway, that Senator Rand Paul has already drafted the language for a whole revisit and maybe just doing away with the 14th Amendment, and or rewriting it to such a degree that it would exclude birth tourism and all its manifestations. The other was brought up in Kavanaugh's concurrence with the court, and that the Constitution would allow Congress to pass legislation restricting the birthright citizenship to exclude certain classifications of unlawfully entered or here temporary kind of thing. Now, which way it's going to go, I don't know. The path of least resistance would be to have Congress pass a law that says there's a restriction on birthright citizenship that would include folks here illegally or here just temporarily. And that seems like the path of least resistance right now. Getting a whole constitutional amendment passed is going to be a monumental task. It's got to be passed by both houses. It's got to be ratified by, what, 3/4 of the states out there. That's going to take a long, long time to get that done. So I'm thinking that the only solution that's viable right now would be to get Congress to pass a law that excludes birthright citizenship for those that are here illegally and those that are here just temporarily. So we'll have to see. There's an interesting poll on the internet right now that basically asks this question, and I'll put it up here to so you can kind of see what conservatives are thinking. This came from Just the News, and it's John Solomon's website. So that's what, here's what it's got to say. Here's the question. With the Supreme Court decision on birthright citizenship, what do you expect to happen? And the 5 choices are: Congress will soon pass legislation to try to stop birth tourism. That second option would be President Trump will issue another executive order. The third option was there will be an attempt to reverse the decision by passing a constitutional amendment. The fourth option was just to have to accept the birthright citizenship, including illegal aliens and birthright tourism. And it's here to stay, and there's nothing we can do about it. And the final choice in this poll was Congress will try to pass legislation to circumvent the SCOTUS ruling, but it won't succeed. Now, option 1 was 28%. Option 5 was 38%. So it appears that conservatives, in a general kind of a sense, thinks that Congress may have a chance to pass some legislation that would restrict birthright citizenship, but it's got a long way to go to get there. Now, I've talked about this in the past. I believe that the dissenters were right on target with this. Justice Thomas and Neil Gorsuch, I think they were right on. Justice Alito wrote in a separate dissent calling the court's ruling a serious mistake. And he argued that the court failed to consider the rise of birth tourism, in which foreigners come to the United States solely to give birth, and argued that it could have serious national security implications. Why the Supreme Court ignored that, your guess is as good as mine. But it is what it is, and the Supreme Court has issued its decision on this issue that President Trump's executive order was unconstitutional because it banged up against the 14th Amendment. The executive order is off the table right now, and there's only maybe 2 pathways left to go. One is to redo the 14th Amendment with exclusions, or to have Congress pass a law. I'd like to hear what you're thinking on this issue. I know this one is one that is deeply troubling for a lot of us out here, that this kind of stuff is allowed to happen. But the liberals all seem to be embracing this, thinking, oh, this is the right thing to do. And I think they're way off track. And this is going to be have devastating impact on what's going on. I will applaud the Department of Justice for going after these birth tourism industries, but we'll see how far that's going to go. This is the Prepared Suburbanite, looking for your input and feedback on this issue, and I'll catch you all on the next video.